Abby, do you want to send just out of command a real quick text to the office and then copy and paste the Zoom link in there? This is what we do to get you live in person, people. Yeah, I do know that for those of us that are on the 7 a.m. pivot shift ahead call, I do know on Monday I think it was Monday. Today's only Tuesday. Maybe it was yesterday. There was a problem with them getting it on Zoom or on Facebook as well. So we'll have to do a little research on that. And maybe there's something new in our Zoom account settings that we need to do. So.
Kim, do you want me to use a text or do you want me to put the link in our private group?
Oh yeah, maybe put it in the private group.
Affiliate credits.
Yeah, put it in the private group. So. All right, I'm sure we'll still get a zillion texts, so. All right, looks like we got a good little crowd here logged in. So we have a lot going on. I mean, when do we not have a lot going on? We have some welcomes. We're going to get an update from Bill. Scott's gonna talk a little bit about social media. Cindy's gonna share a quick compliance. And then we're going to leave some good amount of time for the end for our market of the moment. And we're all going to unmute and we're going to help each other out. So let's just start with some welcomes. All right. So congratulations, Terry Lewis, following the career visioning process and hiring Angie. So Angie, are you here and able to show your face and introduce yourself so we can put a face with the name?
Property.
I don't know if she's here yet. Anybody? Can anybody see Angie?
She's in the building, but I don't know if she's on the Zoom.
Oh, okay. So I don't see her. So anyway, make sure to welcome her. Angie has joined Terry Lewis as her executive assistant. So then, as you know, we did announce that we are hiring a shared position for our DFI. So we have already filled for Monday, Thursday, and Wednesday mornings and still working on the rest of the week. So we would also like to welcome Reggie LaBerge. So Reggie, are you here on Zoom today? I don't know if she's here yet. And if you are, feel free to.
I'm here.
Awesome. Do you want to just quickly introduce yourself? Maybe share a little bit about yourself?
Okay, great. My name is Reggie. Just to put it out there, I am Kim's sister, and believe it or not, I'm the dramatic one in the family. So we're just going to make that front desk a lot of fun. I'm really glad to be working with you guys. I know a lot of you from having worked on Knowing Worth, the book that you guys put out and over 2 years ago now, and just love the culture of Keller Williams. Always have wanted to support Kim in some way in her business. I am seeing this is kind of a semi-retirement job for me because I work professionally as a writer. I still work professionally as a writer, but just kind of scaling back in that world and enjoying just being around people again and around work again. And I just look forward to helping you guys out as much as I can in that position.
Awesome. Well, welcome. So when you guys run into our new DFIs, please introduce yourself. It takes a really long time to get to know everybody because you aren't in the office all of the time. So fantastic. All right, we are going to give the floor. Bill, we would love to get an update from you.
Thank you. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday to you. So I'm here to give you some updates on some things that I think are pretty relevant to the current state of the market. And one of the things that we know we can count on as we go through our year and going into the second quarter is change, right? So I'm having discussions with a lot of agents right now around what's going on with duplexes, and had some recent updates on the KW Facebook forum where we saw Katie experience a situation where she had a buyer that was trying to put 10% down on a duplex. And you are going to run into this. So if you are if you haven't had this happen to you yet, be ready for this, because if you're going to work with a buyer on a duplex, they need 15% down to get a conventional mortgage now if they're owner occupying the property. And we also know that if you're buying it for investment purposes, that's going to be a 25% down payment. Now, occasionally I'll get these questions like, how do I do a lower down payment? Well, let's take a minute and go back and peel back the onion and talk about VA and FHA loans, okay, just for a second, because we have these ideas around how can we tailor a transaction to put it together with a lower down payment. And a great suggestion came out from Sue Arnold a few weeks ago, where she suggested that you show proof of having access to additional funds to cover an appraisal shortfall. So I want you to remember one thing: just because a veteran is doing 100% financing doesn't mean they can't put cash down. So what if I was in a situation where I could do 100% financing on a duplex and I showed proof that I had the extra money to cover the appraisal shortfall? That veteran still deserves the chance to buy a duplex if that's what they want to do. And it needs to be conveyed to the listing agent that way so that they don't have limiting beliefs. The same thing goes with 3.5% down on an FHA loan, you guys. Because what if a buyer doesn't have the ability to put 15% down and cover the appraisal shortfall? What if I told you you could put 3.5% down and cover an appraisal shortfall? That's another opportunity for someone to possibly look at getting into a duplex. And it's all in how it gets presented. Remember, on conventional loans with duplexes, a lot of the programs require reserves also for the customer. So it's a really tough subject to navigate through if you're not on top of your game with these duplex transactions. Can you go to the next slide, please? I haven't taken much time to talk to you guys about interest rates, but today I'm going to take a minute, because if there's one good thing I can bring that's positive, that's a good reinforcement for your buyers, it's that we're seeing a trend reversal for interest rates. Look at that green screen on the right side of my slide. You see those two red lines? When we talk about things are improving, that means they're going bullish. When we talk about things getting worse, it means they're going bearish. We're seeing a trend reversal for interest rates right now. That price represents the trend for mortgage-backed securities. Anyone can look at this graph and see that the graph and the trend is going back up, not going down. That's a great thing for interest rates, you guys. Remember that if you're going to get a $250,000 purchase for a buyer, for example, if you look at the difference of just a 0.25% in interest rate, that equals $8,000 on a sales price, and you end up at the same house payment. So take a second and look at these interest rates while we're talking, and remember that when I help people run numbers, I'm looking at the loan as a financial tool. So I'm showing them a lot of different ways to structure the loan. And one of the things I like to do is nerd out on spreadsheets. So if you have anyone that's engineers or anyone that's really into numbers, that's a great referral for me. Can you go to the next slide? And lastly, I just wanted to talk to you about quick ways to increase someone's credit rating. You know, we talk about being proactive versus reactive. Sometimes I'll get a call or a situation comes up where someone says, oh, Bill, this customer is just this many points away from being able to qualify for the loan that they want. So I want you to remember the credit builder card, okay? Creditbuildercard.com. Why do I recommend this card? For $200 of a person's own personal money, they can get a credit card that can report to their credit report, and it will report in just 3 weeks. And that's really important, because some of these cards that people try to get can take 30 or 60 days just to start reporting to the credit bureau. And the credit builder card, you can even stack them. So a person could get more than one credit card that's a secured credit card. Now, if you know someone that's using their credit cards a little too much, another fast way to improve their credit rating is to simply make sure they're below 30% of their available credit limits. So that's like saying if I have a $10,000 limit, I wouldn't want to exceed $3,000 in balance. Okay, simple idea, but really important for how the scores calculate. And then the final thing to do is, if you have your mother, father, your grandma, your auntie, anybody really, you want to just see that someone in your family might be able to put you on their credit card as an authorized user. Because if they're not using that card a lot, but it's reporting every month, another quick, easy way to raise someone's credit score. This stuff is maybe something you're going to worry about day to day, but I guarantee you will if you run into the situation. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions for me today?
So helpful.
Awesome. I hope you guys found it useful. I'm going to be in the office all day if anyone wants to talk. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. And for those of us that have children in college, we want them to build their credit. So there were some good tips there too, because we want them to move out someday and buy an investment property.
That's right. Have a great day.
Okay.
everyone.
Okay, fantastic. All right, Scott, we're shaking it up. I'm putting you at the beginning so we have some good talking time at the end to talk about some things and open up and unmute ourselves. So what would you like to share with us about social media? And we want to give you an update on our listing contest.
Yeah, so thank you. So I wanted to close the loop on this shared services around social media. And we do have a menu of services. We have partnered with Nate at Uga Marketing, and he has actually gotten some clients already. And I wanted to let you guys know that we will send this out to you all. I would highly encourage you to look at it. And I want to just share a couple stories, success stories of what's happened with this. So if you want to be able to tap into the power of a professional social media company, but you don't necessarily want to pay, that $2,000 a month fee, that would be probably a minimum. This is something to look at to plug and play. We have someone that's looking at joining Keller Williams. And what he told us was he didn't want to switch companies and then down the line, switch his brand, switch like what he's about, switch his logo, switch everything. And so it came to our attention that Nate and this social media company would be perfect, because he has an option for $750 to do their story brand. And then for $200, once he has that story brand, to design the logo. And now a story brand is, if you guys are if I was a seller right now and I was looking at selling my house and I wanted to interview every single one of you, and you only had 2 minutes to tell me why I should use you, if you can't answer that question compellingly, then really diving deep into what your brand is, what your story is, who are you appealing to, what is your niche? Because if you're everything to everyone, then you're nothing to everyone. And so that was just a really cool option that we had because of this connection. Now, if you look down, if you scroll down a little, I would encourage you right now, if you want to dabble, scroll down a little more to this listing kit. So if you have a listing, you have what literally everyone in the world wants. You've got the shiniest new toy, the shiniest thing imaginable. You have a listing. And I would encourage you to reach out to Nate and say, what does this listing kit mean? What will it get me? What will this do for me? Because you want to market that. You want to market what everyone has to get more business for yourself and to help that seller get more. There is a social media campaign kit. If you have a luxury listing, that's that listing that is just above and beyond, and you want to have that little wow factor to help you win it, well, what would be entailed in that? And then I think there's one more page of information that you can have just in terms of an hourly rate or any kind of consulting what you're doing. Now, what I would encourage you is, if you reached out to him, he will not charge you for that first meeting. He will get you on a page, on a package to help you out and to have that slow piece of leverage. So you don't have to do it all, but what one thing can you start with that could really take some time off your hands or help get you more business? So I'm really excited that we have this opportunity and to see where it grows. And then looking for any feedback, from anyone that's going to dive into that.
Nice. Thank you. And then, would you like to talk about the listing contest? Money, money, money.
Yes. So this is everything that I'm talking about right now, because it has awoken the spirit within me, because I like to be competitive and I like to gamify things. And so when this came at a perfect time, it started April 15th. And what we're looking at doing is every single day asking 5 people that that own a home. You call them and ask them, are you aware of what your home is worth in this market? And is there a price that you would entertain selling? And those questions that you ask them can spur on a lot of additional conversation. And depending on how serious they are, you get a next step of either doing a 15-minute virtual market analysis for them. That would just be like, here's what the price is. This is what it looks like. You could answer any questions. Or if there's more seriousness, just go right to the full-blown listing appointment. So every day that you call those 5 people, you get 1 point as a single. Every Zoom CMA market analysis you get 2 points as a double. Every in-person listing appointment you get 3 points. And if they sign that listing, you get 4 points. The cool thing is that you don't have to actually do the Zoom appointments or the listing appointments or get the listing. If you're in the admin role, if you're a buyer agent role, or if you're in a market center role, you can still call the people you know, give those referrals to your favorite agents, and let's start scoring some points. So we're 4 business days in. It goes till the end of May, and the first place prize will get $2,000. The second place with the most points will get $1,000, and third place will get $500.
Okay, that's amazing. And do we know who's like winning as of the moment?
The winner as of the moment is Casey Mayton.
Casey Mayton, people.
And we're gonna bring out some competition here. But I will say, and I know we're talking about this tremendously on the morning huddles. So if you want the mindset and deeper dive into scripts and actually the time to make these calls, that is our number one focus on those. And we're sharing really, really good stories. Kim's going to dive in at the end of this meeting and everybody with some really good ideas around the market of the moment, but just personal success. You'd be surprised how many people are thinking of selling. You'd be surprised how many people will appreciate you reaching out to them and telling them, I consider myself to be your fiduciary advisor for everything related to your home. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that this is the hottest market that we have ever experienced. I know you've probably heard of things on TV and from your friends, but we're getting 20 offers on our listings. There's no inspections, there's no appraisals. They're going 10, 30, 40 grand over. And I'm just curious if you would be interested in knowing what your home would be worth in this market. And just having a conversation of what everyone wants to talk about.
Awesome. Abby, Abby, can you put the Google link just in the comments here? Just another way to share it, where you guys will be tracking your listing contest information, and we'll keep on emailing it and sharing it and talking about it. So thank you. All right, I think our next one is Cindy, because, we have this thing that we carry around with us all the time. It's called a camera. It just happens to have an app that has a phone. So because we carry our camera with us all the time, we love to take pictures. So Cindy, do you have anything to share to keep us in line with being great agents, I would say? I think you're on mute, honey. I can hear you through my wall, but not on the Zoom.
All right, so
Yay.
thank you. So we have to be careful because we have, I've been seeing quite a bit of Facebook Live videos and pictures and so forth. We have to be really careful because we're not supposed to be taking pictures of people's interior houses and posting them on Facebook or any other social media or anywhere in marketing. So we have to just be really conscious of what we're doing. I know it's a great marketing aspect for your business, but you got to be really careful with the personal inside the houses. The other thing I want to talk about is the way we are writing offers. That's another thing, is we got to be really careful with how we're writing offers. We do have a lot of language in the zip forms clause library, and I'm hoping everybody knows how to get to the zip forms clause library by now. We've been adding clauses that we need to get in there. A lot of them are about the home inspections. A lot of them about the appraisal contingencies. So try to utilize that. If you don't see one that you like, call me and we can come up with a better one. We have our attorney actually working on some right now. But again, if you guys have something you want me to add in, I'll be glad to add it in. So just be really conscious of what's going on in the market.
Yeah.
The last, I want to say, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, well, probably about the last 3 weeks, I have been inundated with calls and emails from our agents, other brokers, and we all seem to be wanting to tell on each other. So it's okay if you call me and email me, and that's completely okay to tell on each other, but just be conscious of how the market is. It's a tough market. And I don't think anybody is intentionally trying to do harm. I mean, there might be one or two, but for the most part, nobody's intentionally doing harm. So you got to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But if there is issues, definitely give me a call and we'll work it out. So that's all, pretty much all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Any
I think-
questions I can
I think,
answer up to?
yeah, there was a question in the chat about virtual open houses
missed
and
that.
videos. So I think what Cindy's referring to is I go to show a home, I'm working with my buyer, it's not my listing, and I'm gonna just quickly take a picture of this, I don't know, photo, this painting that's on the wall and make some sort of comment about it. Like, that's more what we're referring to when we say photos and videos. It's one thing when you're doing marketing. It's one thing when you're having an open house. It's another thing when you're taking a photo. Like if I saw a photo of a painting that maybe I painted and chose to put in, my bedroom, and then all of a sudden I saw it on social media, I may not approve of that photo being out there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is in homes, people still have their personal pictures up. So if you are starting to take pictures and posting them and saying, hey, this is so-and-so and so forth, you just got to be conscious of it and
Yep,
make sure you're choosing the right photos to post.
for sure. All right. Thank you, Cindy, for the update.
You bet.
Keeping us out of trouble. That's why they call it compliance. Okay, we're going to visit our lore. We're going to talk about upcoming training, and then we're all going to unmute ourselves and share some wisdom about the market of the moment. All right, so let's visit our lore. So for those that are new or they are visiting, we call our lore or language of real estate. We study numbers. And so we always look at our current production and our future production. So you can see here when you look at the current production, our closed units, closed sales volume, listing sold volume. It's not even current, that's past, right? That's already gone. And then we have our future because that's going to tell us what is coming down the pipeline. So I wouldn't necessarily think these numbers are shocking to you. A couple of things. Pick a number. And so there's power in numbers, and numbers tell a story. So pick a number when you're making your calls. It's very easy to say, hey, just wanted to let you know, give a call and just say, hey, the units, what can we look here? Our office, if I look at closed units, our office closed more production by percentage in comparison to all of MLS. So we can see that the Keller Williams Milwaukee Southwest office, our closed units is up 9.9%, but MLS is only up 7.4%. Obviously, we know about volume. If we look at our listings taken units, again, we know that we're down, right? We know that our office is down 6.2%. I don't need to tell you guys that you know this from 2020 versus 2021. However, all of Metro MLS is actually down almost 10%. we are actually winning, even though that's a down number. And I think we're winning because we continue to talk about it and we're not putting our heads in the sand. So if you want to utilize any of these numbers for your conversations, please do. The other number I wanted to show you, this came up on our 9 a.m. We were talking about the numbers that we can pull in MLS. So I'm going to show my screen. If Allison, you want to give me access. So I know you guys read all your emails. How many here actually read the email that they received from MLS? Usually it comes about around on the 10th, and it gives you your market updates. Anybody? Anybody? Like, I know you probably read it, right? Raise your hand, say I read it. I read all the market stats. Anybody? Anybody? Did anybody read it? Okay, so sounds like you all did. Just in case you didn't, I'm going to go over here to MLS. When you're logged into MLS and you're not logging into Flex, you've just gone to your Metro MLS page. If you go to statistics, this is where you can pull your market updates. Once I am here, and it did change, so I don't know if you guys have noticed this, it changed. I can open up my market indicator reports. So if I go down here and I scroll, this is where you can find your local market updates, your monthly and your housing. So I just want to give you a script. If I click on my local, it's going to give me a zip file that's going to give me all of my local, hyper local numbers. So I live in Brookfield. I click on Brookfield. I can call everybody because I'm in the contest as well, right? I can call my friends that live in Brookfield and I could say, this would be my script. I'm going to scroll through here and I'm going to look up Brookfield. Let's see. I could call you and Scott, will you be my person? You're my friend. Will you be my friend, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Remember, you're my friend.
Okay.
Hey, Scott, it's Kim Rogney. How are you?
Oh, Kim, good. How are you doing? I'm so glad you're my friend.
All right, I'm going to go right into the script. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I don't know if you knew this or not, but the average sales price for homes that sold last year in Brookfield, and we'll just call it median price, was $322,500. And you want to know what the average or the median price is this year? It's 412% or 412,000. I just got to ask you, I mean, I don't know if you're looking to sell your home or not, but you're going to get around 30% more this year than you would have last year if you were to sell your home this year. Are you interested in me doing an updated market for you?
Wow, you said 30%?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely want to know, would that be too much time on your part? But I would definitely be interested in what that would look like.
I mean, I could come over, we could drink wine together and make it really fun, or we could just hop on a 15-minute Zoom. So whatever.
Let's do wine. I know you have a good taste of wine, so.
So here's my point, you guys. If we say 30%, people don't know what that means. It is much more impactful when I call and say, last year at this time, the median sales price in Brookfield Elm Grove was $322,000. It's now $412,000. That is a huge difference. And when we say the number, it clicks in our head. So did you guys know that all those reports are there? Some of you do, some of you don't. I encourage you to look those up on MLS, pick your number. You can pick county, you can get really hyper local, but look at those and just know a few numbers. You don't need to know all numbers, but just know a number. That's another listing script that you can put into your calls. Any thoughts, questions? Dana, I know you and I were talking about this. Does that help? On where that's located?
Yes, thank you for showing that.
Beautiful. You do get that email from MLS around the 10th of every single month. So as a reminder, it will be titled Market I think it says market stats or market updates. So that can be your trigger of, oh, I need to log in and really quickly go look at my number. So have fun with that. Okay, I want to open up for a chat, I think, or maybe am I doing what's next on the agenda? Oh, never mind. Let me real quick. I'm just going to give you a quick upcoming training and events. So Ignite. So Ignite is a course that has been written by Keller Williams University. And what's really cool about it is our agents teach it. And so we are going to be running this June 1st through June 25th. It's going to be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 until noon in person in the training room. And it only costs $29. And oh, by the way, if you show up to all the courses, which you don't want to miss any of them, it will be free. It will be free. We will reimburse you. So check up this lineup. Check it out. Check it out. So Scott's going to lead it off, and you're literally going to learn how to build your business, find your business. We've got the Shipleys, we have Jackie Boyd, we have Marla Breen, we have CJ, Brad Parent. Look at this lineup, you guys. You are going to get to know the secrets of all these top agents and everything that you need to run your real estate business. Has anybody here, could anybody unmute themselves who has taken Ignite? Is anybody on the meeting today who's taken Ignite, and what would you say about Ignite?
I would highly recommend it. It was instrumental for me getting started here and, learning how the top agents in the office do their business and really give you a good format on how to get yourself in order and get going.
Yeah, that's awesome, Michael. Anybody else?
Kim, I'll share. When Zach and I first came to KW, we weren't new agents, but we still took Ignite. And it was really helpful to just learn some more from people who are really experts in their area. And even as agents who weren't brand new in the industry, we got a lot of good takeaways.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. So if you are not reaching your goals, this is the class for you. The whole point of the course is to get you into production. There will be homework. You will be tracking your numbers. It will give you everything that you need. So we'll keep talking about it. There will be a deadline for sign up. I don't know if we have that yet because we have to order materials. But do look for our Google form to register and invite anybody. This is open to any of the KW offices. So technically anybody could come. If you have a co-broke friend, they can come. This is about real estate training. It's not KW training. All the information and materials that we share, anybody can use it in their real estate business. We're excited because we haven't done this for a while. And it's going to be live in the training room. So a couple of save the dates. So right after our team meeting, we've got Steph Sosa in person upstairs, overcoming obstacles in the market. Anything you want to share about that, Steph?
Hi, yeah, we're really just gonna be like masterminding around what are we seeing, what's going on, what can they do, looking at CMAs so that they can reach out to people in their database, and looking at what are some of the things, strategies and tactics that we're seeing on offers. I have a great spreadsheet that Tina had shared with me that I used for my last listing. And so I kept that and have all of the different strategies that came in. So just looking at new things that people can be putting in their offers. So we're just gonna mastermind through some of those topics.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then Scott on Wednesday, budget model. Anything you'd like to share about that on Zoom? Did Scott disappear? I would say, what was that?
He left for his retreat or his event.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so budget model. This is for anybody who's been in the business for a while and is looking to know their numbers so that they know what their business is producing number-wise, and that they know when they have enough money to hire is a great purpose of the budget model. And then we have our command mastermind with Abby on Friday on Zoom. Anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, we're going to be doing, me and Zach are going to kind of lead it, and some of the other members of the tech tribe. So we are going to have kind of an open forum with conversations about what you guys want to be doing. And a lot of times we get into some sort of training or how to. So on Zoom, and hopefully in the future, we'll be moving this to the training room. So, but we'd love to see you on Zoom. You're bound to learn something. And I don't know if Zach's here, but if he has anything to add as far as an agenda, otherwise it's pretty much an open workshop.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, looking forward to helping everyone answer any questions they have. I am an open book, and if all you need is an excuse to come in the room and just find out what we're doing, then take it. Yeah.
Oh, and Zach, is this where we are having guests, perhaps?
We are going to have at least one guest from a market center in Oklahoma. Because they want to kind of find out what we're doing differently, because I guess something that maybe people in this room don't realize is that we're kind of better than a lot of other market centers are about this stuff. And so other market centers are looking to copy what Abby does and copy what the rest of us do. Take advantage of these opportunities. Yeah.
I love that. We're leading the way, you guys. And then our organizational model mastermind next week, also on Zoom. This is when you are ready to hire leverage, and what does that look like, and how you find talent, and most importantly, lead talent. So, all right, bada bing. I think, red day. Okay. Stands for renew, energize, and donate. We still just have a save the date. We will have more information. My goodness gracious, last week, was that not amazing to have the executive director on? So if you missed last week's meeting, what an amazing presentation she did. So our cause is Arch, and we'll have some more information for us to sign up for our time slots. Just know, if you're new to KW, this is the day that everybody all over the country, Keller Williams all over the country, gives back on the same day every year to their local community. So, Michelle, do you have anything else to share about Red Day?
I think you covered it all. Yeah.
Okay.
Just save the date, and I should add that the t-shirts have been ordered, so we'll pass those out as soon as we get them. And yeah, more information to come. I just emailed the lady that spoke last week, Jennifer Horth, I believe is her name, and asked her to give us, she had listed all the duties of what we need to do that day, but she didn't tell me like how many people were for each category. So I'm getting more information from her. So yeah, a Google form will come shortly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do we got next? I don't remember. Market of the moment. Okay, so people, we're probably going to unshare this. We're going to talk about tips for getting offers accepted, where you're finding listings, and keeping it professional. So you know what? Everybody look at me. Like, look. Whew. We're going to do some squats, people. I need to see your faces. And I need us all unmuted. We're going to have a discussion. Unmute. Everybody unmute. We're going to pretend like we're in the training room. Unmute. I would love to hear your dogs, your cats, your washing machine, whatever's going on behind the scene. I need to feel the energy because I need it. I just miss my people energy. Here we go. Let me see who else. We got some more faces, because by the time I get to the second screen, I got no faces. I need faces. Trust me, when we get back up in that training room, we're not going to wear masks. We're going to show our faces. Okay, so everybody stand up. Stand up. Come on, stand up. Do it, do it, do it.
Stand up, Nicole.
Come on.
I'm standing.
Okay.
I'm short, but I'm standing.
Oh, see, I feel the energy. I hear your voices. All right, we're doing 10 squats and then we're going to have a discussion. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yep.
All that are ready, say aye.
Pull it. Aye.
Ready. Let's do it. Go. 1, 2,
I'm going to the hospital.
3, 4. No F-bombs.
Yesterday, so it's good.
5, 6. Woohoo! 7. Woohoo! 8.
Oh, I deserve it.
9.
I think I pulled a hammy.
Yeah. 10. Woo! There we go.
It's way more fun watching everyone go up and down.
Give yourself a round. I want to hear it. Woo-hoo! Woohoo! Yeah, that's right. All right. We are unmuted. All right. Whew. Little do you know, I was like holding on to my edges here. Okay. So let's start with point number 1. Point number 1. And I've got some notes from discussions I've had, but I don't want to own this conversation. You're out in the field. You're the agents. I'm just behind the scenes asking the questions, listening to the podcast. What I need to know, I need some tips. Well, first of all, can I just start with whether you're newly licensed or experienced? We are all feeling the same pain right now. I have heard from producing agents writing 6 offers last weekend, not getting one accepted. I've heard from new agents, same thing. So I need you to know that we are in this together. And this is not because of you or your talents or anything. We're all in it together. Okay, so let's talk offers. Let's start with offers. What is something new that you're seeing or have experienced that is working to get your offer accepted? Somebody share.
60 over.
Bless you. Whoever's sneezing.
Going over 23,000 over asking.
Okay.
47 over.
Besides selling your firstborn, what do we got?
Covering the appraisal gap is really helping people feel comfortable over asking.
Or offering, having it as a listing agent, what my sellers or what I had an offer, and it wasn't the highest priced offer, but because of potential issues with an appraisal, they offered to pay the taxes, you know, title insurance policy, you know, cover other costs for the seller instead of offering a higher price and running the risk of not appraising. They offered something else that was really a great incentive to the seller.
Good. Like it. What else?
I'll second that between Danny and Chris. With the experience I just had with my listing, the majority of the offers that came in were not very creative. And the more creative you get and willing to write in that appraisal gap, I think speaks volumes to sellers at this point, as far as they see it as a bulletproof offer or clean offer that's more apt to close successfully. And I think that's weighing a lot on sellers' minds.
Yeah, that's so true, man.
A couple of our last offers that we did, we offered to help contribute to some of the seller's closing costs.
Go ahead, Sharice.
Just speaking with Katie and Eddie on how they're winning or getting creative on winning some of their offers. So they're learning a little bit more about the seller and identifying kind of what's going on in their lives. So if they're moving, they're offering to pay for the moving truck or the moving costs associated with the move. They are also offering like a year's worth of free meals to the seller, taking care of taxes and closing costs at close instead of prorating them. And they're also having their lenders directly reach out to the listing agent, just confirming you know, that their buyer is, you know, qualified, and just kind of dotting the I's and crossing the T's on all of that so that they feel secure in moving forward with their buyer versus a different buyer. Yeah,
Yep.
that's standard.
Even if you're financing.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but we are all going to Dee's house for dinner tonight. What are you making, Dee? Hey, it's all about multitasking. You're on mute, but that's good because you're making dinner. I'm going to your house because we're probably having leftover pizza. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. What else? Give me something else on an offer. Anybody else before we move to listings and then professionalism? What do we got? Nicole, when you're taking care of sellers, closings cost, what is the range? Okay, so like if you're taking care of your, you know, you're writing in your offer and you're saying what? What is a price range?
Oh, 5,000.
What'd you say, Jessica?
5,000.
5,000.
I
Okay.
had someone offer to pay 10,000 toward the seller's closing fees, including transfer tax, title, and even toward commission.
Yeah. Okay, Steph, that's a good one. I heard that recently where buyers are offering to pay some of the buyer commit, you know, the 2.4%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I like that, like saying 10,000 and you could say to go towards, right? Because sometimes remember, maybe the listing agent isn't quite sure how to explain what that's going towards. So that's good.
Or you can, come up with what it's going to cost, because if you offer more than what their costs are, then the seller loses that benefit. But if you know what the sale price is, we know what the taxes are, you should be able to estimate it's 7,000, it's 9,000, it's 5. It's kind of like when sellers are giving the buyers a closing cost credit, you have to be able to use that full amount for that buyer or seller to get the benefit, the full benefit.
Yep. Who here recently said they like paid for a wine club for a year? They paid attention, they were showing a home, they noticed that the person was a wine drinker, and so they got them wine club for a year. Did I make that up, or was
No,
I?
it was last weekend, but it wasn't a year membership. It was just a case of wine. The buyer.
Oh, okay. So
the buyer worked for a wine distributor, and they noticed that they had a wine rack. Yeah.
These details matter, but if I put my home on the market, I'm going to be looking for a wine club for a year, just so you guys know. So I just told you that. So thank you, Mark. Netflix, I've heard Netflix, right? So when you're with your buyers, really paying attention to what's important to the seller is what I've gotten out of, to add those extras. So
one other tip is a listing agent. Call the listing agent. Do not just send an offer in their email. It happens all the time. Call them, ask them, what does your seller want? What can we do to make this the best offer for them? Do they need post-closing occupancy? Yes, give it to them for free for however long they want. But I already have a bad taste in my mouth when I see an email with an offer attached when the agent never called me and I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, so true. Okay.
I have one. I'm sorry, I was on mute earlier when I was responding to Tina, what we're having for dinner. Puerto Rican food is on the menu. I have my kid at home, so I'm trying to multitask here, but still wanted to make the meeting. So one thing I did with my seller was she wrote a letter. I'm sorry, with my buyer, she wrote a letter to the seller. And that seemed to compel, the listing agent, and I quote said, it was the letter that did it. So that seemed to have worked.
Yep. So that's good, Dee. And at the same time, just be really careful with the letter. There was a recent GMAR email that came out around, familia status, all sorts of things. So letters are fine. Just know we got to be careful when we write letters. So
fair housing, I get it.
Yep. Right. Exactly.
Property management, fair housing. I totally get it. Absolutely.
You know it, girl. Okay.
One more thing as a listing agent,
Yep.
read the private remarks in MLS before you call the listing agent and ask what the seller wants, especially if you already took the time to put that in the MLS and you find out they never even bothered to read the private remarks.
Yep.
And you're getting 30 phone calls in one day.
Yep.
That's a little much.
So yeah, okay, so let's talk the listing side. So now more than ever is when we need to get on our professional soapbox. Say that 3 times, real professional soapbox, professional soapbox, professional soapbox. Okay, KW, we are here to be the professionals, right? This is not an easy market. So I know right now it's really tough. So I have a suggestion. So you have a listing, you have 130 showings, you know you're going to be getting 20 offers. Okay. So what's happening, and I don't know if you're seeing the conversations, what's happening is agents on the listing side are accepting an offer, they're changing the status in MLS, and they have not notified all the agents that wrote the offers. So before I give my suggestion, does anybody have some suggestions for us at KW to be professional and let all of the buyers, agents know before we change the status in MLS? What are you doing that is working?
It's really easy. You can go into showing time and notify everybody with one email and one click. It's not that hard. Everybody's there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. Just go into showing time. You have record that you sent it out. You just send one email.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they've been notified.
And here's go ahead, Danielle.
I have a tip too. A KW agent out of Lake Country had like explaining what she liked about our offer. Unfortunately, it wasn't accepted, but she wrote in there like she loved the communication. She, you know, what she liked about what we did, so that I could give that feedback to my buyer, and they knew that we did a good job. And it wasn't, you know, don't fire your agent. It's just they had 32 offers, and you know, so I just found that was really super professional and really helpful for me to give that feedback to the buyer.
Yeah, I love it, because we do want that. Our buyers want to know, and especially if the emotions are really high and they just lost out on a bunch of offers. So here's the other thing, guys. The more expectation you set, the easier your job is. So imagine if all these agents who said they're going to be submitting offers, you already set the expectation. You said, I'm just going to tell you how I do this. 1, you will receive an email through showing time, because again, are they actually looking at their email? Set that. You're going to receive an email through showing time, letting you know if we accepted another offer. 2, give me time, because I also know on the listing side, if it's Saturday night at 8 p.m. and you're having to look through 30 offers, you also are running out of time to let all of the buyer's agents know. So set the expectation ahead of time. And how about in that showing time email, put in there, I will follow up in the next 24 to 48 hours if you need it, or whatever your time frame is, with the reason as to why your offer wasn't accepted, or some tips, some bullet points, or just give the bullet points to everybody. You could also do a blanketed message in your showing time that gives some bullet points. So just looking to save you time, set the expectation, because you, on the listing side, you're also really busy. What else on our listing side?
I think I heard somebody say that they actually wrote up a document and posted it in the MLS under the documents as to what the sellers were wanting.
Yes.
In addition to the record and the seller updates.
Doesn't mean they're going to look at it. It's the same with the private remarks, but you can't always fit everything you want in the private remarks. So I started doing that, and I put in the private remarks to please see in documents how I want them to deliver the offer, to please call or text and let me know what's coming. Here's what the seller, you know, closing, preferred closing date for the seller. All the questions that a buyer's agent should be asking, I have them all in there. That doesn't mean that they're all looking at them. But it also means when I'm presenting multiple offers to my seller and I say, hey, guess what? Out of these 12 offers, there's 7 that called me or text or email, and they're giving you pretty much everything you want, because a lot of times when there's multiple offers, which is speaks again to the professionalism, without my saying anything, my seller's like, well, who do you know and who's good to work with? Your reputation speaks volumes when you're up against other buyers agents as well. And if I'm going to say, you know what, these three are almost identical offers. This one I've worked with many times and we always get to the closing table. They're good to work with. They're going to pick that offer.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that. We did talk about that, you know, when you take a listing, putting that extra document, the more you can provide the buyer's agents, the better. So one of the things we talked about on ALC is we do have a spreadsheet that you guys can put all your offers into. We talked about, and we don't know if you can actually do this on MLS, so I'll open it up to see if anybody knows, but you could create a Google form that will collect all your data for you it's like an executive summary. We talked about doing a one-pager executive summary with the offers. You could even 10X it and create a Google form. So if you have an agent who calls you and they're like, I'm going to be writing an offer, you could literally text them the link. You could also maybe put the link in your attachments and your documents and say, please submit this form with your offer. And it just asks all those questions you'd be putting in a spreadsheet anyway. Purchase price, financing, any contingencies, or any additional comments. It would very easily organize all of your offers automatically for you in a spreadsheet. Just an idea.
I love that, because it probably took me like 6 hours to read through, analyze all these offers.
Yep.
We had multiple PDFs, so I was downloading and opening different documents. No, there was probably 2 out of the 24 that gave a nice email summary. I'm going, are you kidding me? Just tell me, you know, give me the quick and dirty details here. But yeah, that would be nice if the spreadsheet was pre-built for you.
Yep, and that's what a Google form will do. And who here, and I know there's a lot of people, even on ALC, they weren't quite sure. Would it be helpful if next week on the team meeting, I did a little Google form training? I mean, it literally would take me 10 minutes to show you guys how to create a form and how it creates a spreadsheet. Would that be helpful? Do we like that?
Yes.
Good. Yeah, good. Okay.
I think that's great. And I like the idea of the form. However, I will just say on a side of caution, this doesn't escape you from having to review the offers.
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, I had some great offers that came in last weekend. However, there were some things that were snuck in there that were not in the executive summary. And if I hadn't reviewed that carefully, my seller probably would have ended up accepting something that wasn't going to work in their favor.
Absolutely. As agents, we know we always still have to review for sure, but I guarantee out of that 6 hours stuff, it would have saved you 5. It's pretty easy to very quickly look through an offer and compare it to the spreadsheet, right? So yeah. So that was an idea that we had. You can even put links in a Google form. So you could even, when you have a buyer call you and say, I'm writing, or an agent call you and say, I'm writing an offer, you text them and say, great, fill out this form. And within the form is all the information that your seller, all the stuff that we were just talking about, where Chris brought it up and we all brought up, putting it in docs and MLS. You could also put something in the Google form of, this is what my seller's looking for. So lots of it is about setting the expectation ahead of time. So yes, we are professionals. We will keep on talking about this. And guys, from what we're reading and what we're listening to, this is not going away for any time soon. So we're going to keep on talking about it. And then it's 1 o'clock already. Who's got a 1-minute tip on where you're going to go find a listing that's not on the market? Has anybody here found a listing that was not on the market? Anybody? Give me it. What do we got?
I got one. I'll be signing it today out of the golden letter that I sent to a community. Showed the buyer, she likes it. We're writing it up, but it won't close for a couple of months, but it came together.
That's what I'm saying. Golden letter, people. It works. Mark Smith had a golden letter. Alex had a golden letter. This is how you win. You go and you find your buyers listings that are not on the market.
I reached out to former colleagues, and I have one this weekend where I'm going to be doing, I'm going to stop by, take pictures, do the CMA and whatnot. But yeah, she was just a former colleague, and I just started reaching out a couple people in, where I used to work at a call center, and that's kind of where we're at. So I just start reaching out former colleagues, letting them know that I'm a realtor.
Beautiful. Okay, guys. All right, now we need to just take a deep breath. Everybody calm. Deep breath. So, do you have something to add, Therese? Okay. Deep breath. Does anybody, before we hang up, does anybody have a listing coming soon? Steph, you go. What do you got?
Okay, I have this adorable Cape Cod near, it's actually near across the street from Spanish Immersion School. It's coming up Friday morning. 1 day showings of only on Saturday. It is going to be $227. It is a 3-bedroom, basement's partially finished, but the backyard literally is the seller on this. They made like a little garden oasis with a water feature, and it's all like kind of privacy fenced in, but then you go past that, there's like a whole nother yard behind. So it's like a double deep. Totally redid the kitchen, hardwood floors, all baths, everything is granite tile, backsplash, everything. So really beautiful.
Anybody else coming soon?
I have 2 duplexes. One is in delayed as of yesterday afternoon on 48th, right off of Howard, within walking distance to my most favorite bakery in the Milwaukee area, Scordatos, has the best ham and rolls and cookies ever. 224, 3-bedroom, 1-bath each unit. And there is a really nice finished locked rec room with another half bath for owner occupant or extra rent. The other one is 60th and Lincoln. It was built in 1999. Sellers have done a lot of updates even since then. That'll be $199, should be on the market next week. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, each unit, and both have 2.5-car garages.
All right, beautiful. Charisse.
Yes, ma'am. I'll rapid fire these because I know we're over time. These are all going live Friday, so last call. We have a Cape Cod in the Mount Mary area, 3-bed, 2-bath, listed around $184,900. We have a 2-story townhouse style condo on the east side, 2-bed, 2 full bath, 2 underground spots, 1,300 square feet. That's going to be $264,900. We have a Mount Pleasant Ranch, 3-bed, 1.5 bath, 2.5-car garage, detached, 1,242 square feet, full basement, $189,900. And then we have a Greenfield Ranch in the Whitnall School District, 3-bed, 1.5 bath, 2-car garage. Sellers have completely updated and renovated this property. It's going to be bananas. $264,900 is going to be the listing price, and those all go live this Friday.
So do you have like a system for how you're going to handle the chaos?
Yes, wine bars.
I mean, like, okay, so Charisse and Tony are going to be presenting offers like all weekend. So
yeah, no, it's good. We've got our spreadsheet and we've got things time blocked and systematized and all
ready
of that
to go.
stuff. And wine. We're all ready.
Beautiful. All right. Anybody else for the good of the cause? Okay. We will be talking about this again, right? Because every week it changes. I've never been in a market in all the years I've been in this business, and I'm sure a lot of you who have been here as long as I have or longer, you will echo me. I have never experienced what we're experiencing right now, and it is rapidly changing, rapidly. It's like we're on fire. So what I have for you is go dig up listings, go have your 5-a-day conversations, Go educate your people. Let them know. Hyper local. How much are their homes selling for in their area? There are people out there that would sell if you asked them. And then breathe, breathe, and be a professional. We are professionals. So that's all I got for you. We'll be back next week and we'll talk Google Forms. All right. Bye. Go have an amazing week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.